But today in particular is the 21st day of May, specifically the 21st day of May, 25 years after the year 1000. And on this wonderful, wonderful day, I gotta start off the video, the stream, whatever the fuck you're watching this as, like this. Now, you may be hearing a bad time in music and going, yo, we 5 seconds into the damn video, the stream. What's going on? Well, let me show you what's going on. $80 for Borderlands, too costly? Randy Pitchford says, if you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen. I personally want to take time out my day to ask if the fuck can be excused out of me. Cause my nigga, what did you just say? Cause like, with games being $80 now, gaming is becoming more and more expensive, and it is becoming increasingly easier for people to be completely priced out of gaming and playing games. And with you coming in the gaming sphere and saying fuck shit to people like this is kind of crazy, don't you think? Like, you don't find it crazy to tell people fuck you, if you want to play the game you'll pay it? Like, gaming is expensive. It's expensive, darling. Like, I feel like I need to talk to you like an old black woman, so like you really feel comfortable and you understand the message. Gaming is expensive, darling. Gaming is a luxury. If the recession hasn't hit, which in my opinion it did, it's about to hit. A lot of people are not going to be able to afford games. And what do I always say when I talk about this topic? If money is tight, your luxury budget is the first thing that's going to go. You don't want to let it go because you like playing video games, watching movies, doing whatever to be happy. But you don't need it to not die. So you will very, very, very soon be willing to let up your budget from that. Then it's usually self-care, like in terms of buying extra special facial scrubs and super good shampoo. But the first thing that always goes is the luxury entertainment budget. And you're out here telling people they're not real fans if they don't think your game is worth it. I want to read the exact quotes, because in this article somewhere is the exact quotes for what he said. If you're a real fan, he recently told a potential purchaser, which, keep in mind, if somebody is commenting under your tweet and you are a video game creator, in a long-running franchise, you are likely talking to somebody who is a fan of the Borderlands game and a potential purchaser. Just keeping it a buck with you. Always remember, people, when it comes to these big corporations, you are a fucking hashtag. You are a fucking number. When you talk to these like developer accounts on Twitter, always remember you're a fucking name on Twitter. Cause contrary to popular belief, a lot of people that create content, like most of the people I know right now that create content started creating content in 2020 because of COVID. They weren't creating content before 2020. They never had a video blow up before 2020. They never made a video before 2020. They never knew how to open the editing software in 2020. They never edited a photo before 2020. And a lot more of them are starting more and more and more now because of things like new star getting popular every day, right? Now, that being said, a lot of people don't really have experience with social media and how social media works and what happens on it and what it does. One of the things you gotta realize is, unless the person you're talking to over the internet actually knows you, you're a username on a screen. So for example, if I go into somebody's chat and I type out a message to them that makes them giggle, that's not the same thing as if I was sitting next to that person, I said it out of my mouth and it makes them giggle. I'm a name on a screen that types something that's funny. On their end, they don't know I'm a person. On their end, I could be a really advanced AI chatbot just set out into the wild. They have no idea. Now I have stuff like videos on my page of me moving and talking and shit that shows that I'm a real person. But otherwise, other than that, They have no proof that I'm a real living, breathing, talking person. So when you comment under a developer's post, you are a fucking username. You are a number. And on the flip side, he has to realize you're talking to your customers. You're basically telling your customers, fuck you, pay the $80 or you're a bitch. Like you're trying to pump people into buying a damn game. Talking about you'll find a way to make it happen. You know who else uses those type tactics? Drug dealers. If you want this coke, you'll find a way to make it happen. They say as they slowly unbuckle their pants and start to unzip them. Pitchford made the proclamation on social media after Borderlands fan opined, Randy, Borderlands 4 better not be $80. Don't take that risk. A lot of gamers aren't going to pay $80 and feed this notion of constant increase of the price tag. You are the CEO. You have some say with the price when it comes to the publisher. No, he doesn't. The board members do. That's number one. Number two, they're not going to let him put this game at a price lower than $80. You know why? Because Mario is $80 and Mario is a video game. Now you may be sitting there going, what the fuck? Where does that comparison come from? When you're thinking in the way of these board members and shit like that, you have to strain everything down to its most basic elements and then start coming to conclusions. Because them board members, they're 60-year-old geriatric motherfuckers or niggas who just was born into a rich family, so they sitting on this board because they family just so fucking rich. A lot of these board members don't know shit about modern games. Mario's a video game, and so is Borderlands. To them, Mario's $80. It's a video game, make it $80. They don't understand the idea of sales. They don't care. They want to maximize their profit, and they think the way to do that is by making games $80. And one of the things I said that would be the problem with GTA in specific, I think y'all kind of get the point. I don't need this music anymore. But with a game like Grand Theft Auto becoming $80, one of the main things I said is a lot of these gaming companies aren't going to take into consideration that Grand Theft Auto is a super franchise that transcends gaming. Not all of you are Grand Theft Auto. This is remember in the 2010s or the 2000s, whenever rappers started a song and the first thing they said in the song is, you already know who it is! And everybody would universally go, no the fuck we don't. That's basically what's happening. They're going, bro, you know who it is, big Borderlands. Niggas is standing there like, nigga, who? Borderlands 4? I didn't hear about Borderlands 1, 2, or 3. Wait, there's 2 other games? So how is it the 5th game, but it's being called 4? That doesn't really matter. Point is, Borderlands 4, I didn't give a fuck about 1, 2, or 3. Now you're trying to charge me $80 for the 4th one? In a gaming franchise I don't know? Or in a gaming franchise that has boring as fuck gameplay? No. Niggas is not gonna go for that. Most gaming studios cannot make that. Most gaming studios cannot get a bunch of people to pay that price for their game. Hell no. But they're going to try. Going to fail miserably. Pitchford begged to differ. Not my call, he insisted before dismissing pricing concern. Which is true. I give him credit. He isn't lying about that. He's telling the truth about that. It's not his choice. I don't know the way their specific company is structured, so take this statement with a grain of salt, but there's a lot of companies where the CEO don't do shit. There's a lot of companies where they will give the person who's the CEO, let them be the CEO basically as a title. Think of it as in those government conspiracy shows where they're always the president is not who you think it is. The president is a puppet by such and such shadow organization. Think of it like that. The CEO, a lot of the times in these companies, is just a title they give to somebody. The CEO don't usually make no real decisions, and even when they do, there's checks and balances to make it so that your decision is really just a very, very valuable suggestion. So yeah, he's not wrong about that. Again, I don't know how their company is structured. I don't know how they operate. I'm just speaking on my general knowledge of how situations like this can go. Because there are some CEOs in companies where what they say goes. And there's CEOs in companies that just have the name as a title. For example, for every Elon Musk, There's a fucking Steve Jobs. I know he passed away, but that's the best example I can use, where Steve Jobs was actually involved in the creation of the iPhone, in the marketing of the iPhone, in the day-to-day operations of the creation and maintenance of the iPhone and Apple accessories. Like, every once in a while, you get a Steve Jobs. But for every Steve Jobs, there's an Elon Musk. So I don't know. I'm just putting that general knowledge and information out there. If you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen. Not true. Most people who play a game, most of the profit you'll get from people who play your game won't come from fans. So basically you're saying, if your game could have made 1 million copies, right? You could have sold 1 million copies of your game. Let's say only 100,000 people are real true fans that are going to buy a Borderlands game, a boring lands game, no matter what. You just took your sales from 1 million for people that wanted to try the game down to 500,000 to 200,000. Because there's always going to be some people outside of the core fan base that buy it, whether it's to play with their friends or because they've heard the other ones were fire from some sick fuck they know that they didn't understand is a sick fuck trying to sell the idea of the game to them. And they go, you know what, fuck it, let's try it, let's see how good it is. Then they play it and realize I call it boring lands for a reason. My local game store has Starflight for Sega Genesis for $80 in 1991 when I was different economy, inflation, shut the fuck up. The response from Borderlands fans on social media was unsurprisingly swift, strong, and overwhelmingly negative. And this comes off the back of the fact that they made EULA changes that made the community review bomb them. And I was talking about it a little bit earlier, but the short version is they changed their terms and services so that they are able to ask for and just get root access to your computer. And the comparison I made is like them asking for root access to your computer with no PvP, because I looked it up. Borderlands is only PvE. It's like, what are you doing? No, stop it. It's the equivalent of somebody saying on a first date, in order to go on a date with me, you have to give me your social security number. That's basically what happened. That's basically what's happening. Of course, none of this means Borderlands will cost $80 when it'll cost $80. I promise you, it'll cost $80. When it announced a $79.99 for USD, blah blah. Notably, publisher Take-Two. Yeah, that's a bunch of other yappage and a bunch of other shit. Now, for quick parts of the news, yo, my eye is itchy as fuck. I don't know what it is, but like, I'm just itchy right now. You know what it is? I had this sweater on for like the past 2-3 hours to try and prevent mucus from building up in my body too much, because I'm a little bit sick. I got the sniffles. I got the sniffles, so yeah. Another quick bit. In terms of the whole drama that was going on with Infinity Nikki, where they changed up the story and fucked it up. Apparently, the developer came out and apologized after the update and promised to compensate people. I want to read what their apology was and what the compensation is. Is there a specific... Okay, this shit is long as fuck, so I'm gonna skim through it. But 21st, bubble season. This update was meant to add things such as challenge levels, tasks, blah blah blah, dive deep, blah blah blah. When the update went live, the game received a bunch of negative Steam reviews. That's what I was telling you about. We're acutely aware of these recent issues that have impacted your experience and damaged the trust and affection you've placed in us. To all stylists, which is the name of Infinity Nikki players, we offer our deepest apologies, they wrote on social media. The studio continued, throughout the development journey since launch, we faced a multitude of challenges and uncertainties, from optimizing performance across a bunch of devices, blah blah blah. The game been fucking up and we've been trying to fix it. Rather than offering premature communication, we chose to tackle these problems methodically, blah 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 blah. Rest assured, we've heard your feedback. They said, you niggas been yelling and screaming? We heard you yelling and screaming. Due to technical hurdles in version 1.5, we're unable to properly refine the introduction of Sea of Stars. So basically, that shit is too hard to fix for technical difficulties. These elements are planned for future updates. Plans are underway to expand tiered circle. What the fuck? They're restructuring the monetization system and how you earn money. I can't pronounce that word, but that's basically what it's saying. In upcoming versions, new gameplay systems will undergo rigorous blah 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 blah, nigga. And then on top of that, they're making sure that the game can actually fucking run on various platforms. Other adjustments are also being discussed, the studio said. Some changes require extended. We're trying to fix the fucking game. That's basically what they're saying. And there's like a bunch of nerdy details about the shit, blah 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 blah. This controller I kind of wanted to look at on stream, but looking at this list of shit, it is basically a controller with a screen, and I wanted to see what the fuck the screen was for. Whatever, bro. What the fuck the screen was for, why it was important, but this one, kind of a quickie, but AI Darth Vader is getting them sued because the Screen Actors Guild, which for those of you who don't understand that in depth, basically those are the people who are like a union for actors of all kinds. So whether it's a voice actor, you act in commercials, you're a play actor like doing Shakespeare, to live or not to live, that type shit, them don't like the fact that AI Darth Vader is a thing in Fortnite, because like the way they got AI Darth Vader in Fortnite, they essentially did the same thing as EVBot. If you remember that, like in 2017, all the colorful hair YouTubers were yelling at that shit at the top of their lungs. But EVBot Darth Vader edition is basically what they put in the game, and a lot of people don't like that, even though they went to the estate and properly asked for permission to do this, A, and B, they like basically they did everything the right way. They asked the estate for permission, and they made sure that they put blocks in place so it couldn't talk about certain things. Like for example, the bot isn't allowed to talk suggestively, and it isn't allowed to talk about stuff like V-Bucks, because then that'll be potentially seen as advertising to children, and that's kind of very illegal. So the Screen Actors Guild is basically shaking in their boots saying we don't want more people doing this, because this could otherwise fuck up the industry and make it harder for newer people who want to get into voice acting to get roles, because real is real. There's a reason why when you go to watch a Hollywood movie, blockbuster movie, especially if it's in something like Marvel, there's a reason why they try and get the biggest stars they can to be the title names and main characters for this movie, because there are certain names that'll put asses in seats. For example, excuse me, if you make a movie with Will Smith in it, whether it's good or bad, opening weekend, you're going to have asses in the seat. Robert Downey Jr., asses in seat. Don Cheadle, asses in seat. Michael B. Jordan, asses in seats. And Tom Holland, asses in seats. So it's a matter of them being upset that they're using this recognizable character instead of like doing something where they hire a sound-alike or something like that, because the dude who voiced Darth Vader, if I'm not incorrect, passed away a little while back. So it's more so of them being upset that this is a slippery slope thing, but sadly this is one of those times where I gotta go, you're fighting time with this one. Like, you know the age-old story of like the 45-year-old woman that tries to get Botox, have her face permanently like this 24/7, trying to make herself look young, and then in a process of trying to make herself look young, she makes herself look worse than if she would have just embraced her oldness. Yeah, that's basically what they're doing. They're fighting the inevitable. You're not gonna stop wrinkles. All those commercials that say anti-wrinkle cream are lying to you. They're trying to market you a product to get your money. Same thing with this situation, but instead of money, it's reality. You're fighting the inevitable. That's my point. But before I go on a long ass rant about that, last thing, Bungie, they're not doing too good. Apparently the morale is at a low, all-time low, because there was a drama going on in the past couple weeks where like drama after drama has been happening, but as of the time of this recording, the most recent drama was when it was found that there was stolen art being used in Marathon. Now, according to what they said, this is not based on their actions, this is based on what they said. They're trying to reach out to the original artists to try and give them compensation because somebody in their studio copy and pasted designs without asking permission. It's a whole thing. But after back-to-back drama and then the go woke, go broke crowd yelling this game is gonna be woke DEI, we're not gonna play it. This game has been getting hit with controversy after controversy. So I'm not surprised that their morale is at an all-time low, according to this article. Is this coming from a direct quote? Also, another thing is there was rumors that Marathon was supposed to be $80. Marathon is a new IP. I don't know if you can make $80 for Marathon. And that's one thing I always say that's important about games. Gaming is a luxury. I think I said this earlier in this video, but gaming is a luxury. When people are losing money, because if we're not in a recession currently, America, that is, we're going to be in one soon. So when niggas go broke, what's the first thing they get rid of? Luxury entertainment. Well, luxury in general, but entertainment first. You don't have to pay $20 every month for Netflix. You don't have to buy a new video game every month. $70 a month? That's 7 times what? 12? Stop. Thank you. What was I saying? Oh, you don't have to buy a new game every month. You don't have to buy a new Gucci, Louis, Fendi Prada purse every month. So it's in your best interest to keep gamers as much in your good graces as you can and try and be able to get money out of them in the first place. Because like a lot of studios are moving in what I would say the most unhumble way possible. Because like all these studios are out here moving like they're fucking Grand Theft Auto, like they can charge whatever for a game and people are just gonna buy it. More studios need to humble themselves and do like Expedition 33. Charge $40. Charge $30. Charge $20. I know your game's not an indie game, but some of you studios need to humble yourself. If more games are sold for $40, y'all will profit a lot harder. Also, scale back on production more. Because, and I know this is gonna sound fucked up, but it's the reality and it's what people would prefer. If a lot of these studios would scale back on production and let the creatives be creative a little bit more often, you know what you would get? You would get more amazing games. You know what happens when you get an amazing game? You have something worth marketing to an audience. When you have something worth marketing to an audience, that audience will see the marketing, will see the product and go, I like that product, I want that product, and they will buy that product, and then you profit from there. If people get to the I will buy that product part and they go, ooh, but that's too rich for my blood, a person who would have otherwise brought your shit now doesn't want to buy it. You know what that does? That makes you lose money. A lot of these studios are losing money because people don't want to buy these games for $80 fucking dollars. Your game is not worth $80. Don't charge $80. You gotta humble yourself. That's why, and think about it, bro. Concord was $40 fucking dollars and still failed. But Concord failed because of the narrative outside of the game and the lack of marketing. But Expedition 33, on the other hand, had the decent amount of marketing. It was a game that people actually wanted to play. It was cool, fun, interesting, and brought people who are outside of the turn-based RPG community into it with a game that has mechanics that people actually enjoy. They made something fun and they said $40. I bet you more people are buying that game than all these other AAA games that nobody fucking asked for that cost $80. That being said, if you want to stay in the stream, all you must do is hit refresh on your tab.